Hey, welcome back to the channel. So I've been using Linux on and off for about 10 years now, but 4 to 5 months ago, I switched over to using Linux as my primary OS. Now, when I switched over, I was able to find replacements to every piece of software that I use, all the way from my general use up through the production for my YouTube channel. I was either able to find a replacement or an alternative to all that software except for one, and that one is OneNote. I keep all my video notes and ideas and everything in OneNote, and I was not able to find anything on Linux that would give me the level of functionality that I used in OneNote. I just like the way it's structured with the notebooks. You can nest notebooks. You can create notes and tag them and put them in those different notebooks. You can sync it across all your multiple devices. I wasn't really able to find anything in Linux to do that. So I've been using the web version of OneNote in this P3X wrapper that basically it lets the web version of OneNote act like another application on your desktop. And that's been working great, but number one, I don't want to be tied to Microsoft services and have to store my stuff on OneDrive. And number two, I would love to use something that is free and open source, and that is where Joplin comes in. Joplin is a fantastic free and open source note-taking app that has a lot of the features that I really like about OneNote in a free and open source app. You can create multiple notebooks. You can create nested notebooks. So these subject topics underneath Evenos and Evenos Linux, these are just other notebooks that I nested under there. And then you can create the notes inside those. That is great for organization. Another level of organization is you can add tags. So I do this Tutorial Tuesday series on my channel, and I can tag any of the notes for that, and then they'll just show up in this list when I click on the tag. That's really great to help you quickly locate things and keep things organized. Now, the other thing that I really needed was cross-platform and synchronization across those different platforms. Cross-platform, they got it covered. They have it for Linux, Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. And the synchronization is covered too, and it's covered really, really well because you're not tied to any one service to synchronize your notes to your other devices. Out of the box, they make it really easy to get it working with Dropbox, which is how I have mine set up, but you're not tied to Dropbox. You have a wide range of options that you can use for cloud storage. So let me just go into the settings here and show you some of the options. So obviously Dropbox, which is what I'm using. You can store it to your local file system, OneDrive, Nextcloud. So if you're hosting your own Nextcloud server, you can synchronize to that, or any cloud storage that supports WebDAV. So you have a huge range of options that you can use to synchronize this, or if you don't want to synchronize it across your devices, just do the local file system and you're good to go. So Joplin has replaced OneNote for me on Linux and my other operating systems. I'm able to do everything I need to do, keep it synchronized across my devices, and I'm absolutely loving it. Now, the one thing that may be a little off-putting to some people, and it did take me a little bit to get used to, is that the editing on here is done in Markdown. You cannot edit directly in the WYSIWYG view. So let me show you what I mean. So if we go into one of my notes, actually, let me just do a new note here. So we got this new note, and we can do a bulleted list if we want. We can go and do item 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you look on the side, it's showing you in a view that you would expect in a word processor or something like OneNote, but it's using the Markdown code to edit that. You cannot edit directly on the view on the right-hand side. And then you can toggle between these, so you can do just Markdown or the rendered view, or you can have that split screen. So let me show you a little bit on a more detailed notes. So here's more something that I put into a bulleted list. And if we look at just the Markdown, we are using the Markdown code to do the bulleted list. And when we go to layout, it's showing the pretty tabbed. Now, the designers did do a lot to help you work with that Markdown, because they know not everybody knows how to use it super well. So some of that is some of these items on the bar at the top. So like you saw I did with the bulleted list, I just click the bullet. If we want to do a number bulleted list, we could do that. And it kind of does the same thing. If you want to do bold tests, you can click on the bold and then type in your text. If you want to do italicized text, you can do the same thing. So they put in some tools in there that make it really easy for you to edit in the Markdown language. There's a ton of information out there, but once you get used to doing it, you actually realize you have a lot more control over the formatting and how your notes look. And then when you're ready to print, so for me, when I'm ready to print this out, I just go into the layout view and print out the layout view because that's easier to read when I'm reading the notes for my video. That's the only thing I found that I had to get a little bit used to in the note-taking app, but now that I'm used to it, it's been great, and I am absolutely loving this app, and I wanted to share it with you all because it took me a really long time to find something that I could call a valid alternative to OneNote. So hopefully you found this video useful and informative. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. If you really liked it, please consider subscribing. Leave any questions or comments down in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.